if I can get the 5 technology showcase companies kind of presenters over there, and if I can get Dan, Mark, and Dave Cohen up here. So we're going to try something a little new this year. We've added this to the program. One of the things that's true about the Rocky Mountain region is that it's very supportive of true early stage startups. From programs like Techstars, which David runs, to the Ignite series that gets incredible attendance in Boulder and in other places around the region, to the new tech meetups that take place all over the region, to the number of VCs and other folks in the investment community that hold open office hours, again, throughout our region. This is really an area where people are focused, and we're trying to continue to build great new entrepreneurs. So what we thought we'd do this year is bring a couple of companies to present that are really early, right? They're just getting started. Some are coming out of universities, some are repeat entrepreneurs, some are new entrepreneurs. We're calling it the Technology Showcase, and the idea is to have them come up and give basically a quick product pitch, essentially, 5 minutes, almost demo style, if you're familiar with that conference. And then at the end, we're going to have a panel of folks kind of discuss what they've heard. So let me just briefly introduce the panel. Mark Vaverka is the West Coast editor of Barron's and a columnist for Barron's. David Cohen is the founder and CEO of Techstars, which is a mentor-based program in Boulder, Boston, and just announced Seattle. And Dan Primack is the editor of PE Hub, which I know many of you read. The companies we have presenting today are PitchEngine, Hydraulic Hybrid, Prieto Battery, Grogger, and BlipSnips. And with that, I'd like to call up our first presenter, Jason from PitchEngine.
I'm Jason Kintzler. I'm from Riverton, Wyoming, so a little farther removed from the Front Range than most of these folks. But I'm a former journalist, broadcast journalist turned PR pro. And in my probably 15 years of experience there, I learned a lot of opportunities and saw a lot of opportunities and holes that existed in the media relations process. And so in the process of finding ways that I could better communicate with media, I developed this thing called PitchEngine. And we're a next generation PR platform. But more than that, we're a social media company with a revenue model. So that's a little bit unique in the world I play in. That got a standing ovation at Stanford, but that was also a year ago. So, you know, I think what you'll see here in PitchEngine is we're not just a kind of startup app that's out there and hard to grasp. It's the kind of thing that everyone in this room can use tomorrow to better their business, and that's our real power, and that's why we've been so successful in the short time that we've been around. So to start out, I'd just like to talk about why PitchEngine and why it's becoming so successful. The current public relations model is a top-down distribution model. In this case, it's left to right. But just like the music industry and the news industry, distribution is changing dramatically. So the old way to do PR, you used to do a press release, you try to send it to a journalist, and hope that media outlet would cover your story, and that your consumers or your audience would finally find that content. And that's how PR has worked for almost 100 years. But that's changing. And now, with social media really changing the sort of mediascape and how we communicate with people, we're able to now, as brands, as companies and organizations, reach out to our consumers directly, influencers. So while our consumers might be bloggers, they might be journalists, investors, or just your average consumer, we can reach them directly now. We don't have to rely on distribution avenues of old. So what we're trying to do is enable them to do that. We create applications for them to be able to reach out to those consumers directly. This is the problem. This is the first problem that existed. The traditional press release. It's archaic. It's almost 100 years old itself. You hear the buzzwords, you see the blogs that say, is the press release dead? Our belief is it's almost dead. And the reason is it's not written. It's an AP format, which was written for a time when the press release was high tech. It was the plug and play of its day once upon a time. But it's pretty boring, so I won't leave this slide up very long. So let's see. Looks like Looks like we're missing a slide. So I'll just, we created what's called the social media release, which enabled people to incorporate images, video, all their social media elements into one social media release that's engaging to people, to readers. Does it work? These statistics just show that PR Newswire, Business Wire, which you saw on Warren Buffett's slide, which is one of our soon-to-be competitors, and PR Web. Our content is already almost twice as engaging as their press releases. So as a company, you want to put out content that's engaging, that doesn't just garner impressions, it garners interest and sales, inevitably. Do we have users? Sure. We've got 18,000 brands that have already used PitchEngine in 2009. They've put out 50,000 releases. These brands are coming to us because they identify what social media, what those opportunities provide, and how they can reach out to consumers directly. And I'm sure you can see this as well. As we look at the model, it's the ability to create, distribute, monitor, and manage your PR. It's a new PR platform. The pitch platform itself sort of works like this. You can create a pitch, just like filling out a form, making a Facebook profile, creating a blog post, just like that. Then you publish and share your content, and we give you the ability to share that content through a new partnership with Technorati Media. For the first time, brands, organizations, people will have the ability to distribute content to bloggers in a new way, in a network style, social network style manner, not just sort of spamming emails out to bloggers. And we give you the ability to integrate social media into that campaign so you can share authentic content that you produce with your social networks. Also, we index them Google, Bing, Yahoo, and do all the tracking, monitoring, and analytics you'd expect. And so this, I see what's happening. This is actually the long form of my presentation. So, but in general, the significance, there's an old way of doing things and a new way. PR is a very traditional, it has been a very traditional model for a long time, and we're disrupting that. We're changing the way that people think about doing PR and how to reach out to consumers directly instead of renting that audience for a short period of time. So I think that you'll find that, it's definitely a disruptive thing to the industry, but one that's definitely needed. So thank you.